So, society basically hates men. I'm not making this video for you to feel bitter for no reason. I'm making this video to wake you up to the same thing I've been saying for years. Brother, you have to wake up. You have to become strong because, bro, I've been having awakenings back to back when I was much younger, and I just wish I could have shared my journey much sooner. But this is it. Is it not crazy that there is no single male statistics that is improving? Not a single one that is healthy that is also improving. More men are dropping out of school. More men are becoming addicted. More men are committing suicide. More men are lonely. More men are struggling with mental health issues. Now, speaking of mental health issues, it even pains me more when I see that there's an active campaign to mock men's mental health. It's an active campaign. You see, when they say men should speak up, nah, they don't really care. It's all a distraction. Their goal is to keep you there. Their goal is to make you weak. Their goal is to make you feel weak, to disempower you. But think about it. When we say men should man up, what happens? They attack those men. It's so crazy that the people who say men should speak up are the people who own therapy centers. If you really dig it, it's all for profit because if those therapists did not exist, guess what? They'll tell men to man up. So as a man, you have to realize that society hates you when you are weak. Now, what happens when you're not weak? Automatically, you are strong. Society loves you for being strong. But guess what? They don't want too many strong men in society. That's why they choose to make you weak. They choose to keep you distracted. They choose to keep you discouraged from becoming strong. And if you really dig it, right, it's very intentional. It's all for control. So they distract you by creating addicting games. They distract you with trash content. They distract you with trashy news. Which, speaking of propaganda itself, you have ideas like toxic masculinity. They have ideas like we don't need men. But here's the harsh truth, right? Remember when I said the rules, okay, I'm not sure I said it, but the rules for strong men and the rules for weak men are two separate things. Two completely separate things. If you even watch women talk, I tell you that the society has gotten so feminine. And I don't mean like women taking position of power. I mean the world has become so feminine that what what women say and what they do are two different things. Now, what society says about strong men and what they do are two different things. What society says about weak men and what they do to weak men are two separate things. Women will say, "Oh, I like the nice guys, I like the good guys," but what should they go for? Narcissists, right? The bad boys. Society says, "Oh, strong men should be thrown away, should be taken apart." But guess what? When shit hits the fan, who did they go to? Who are the women lusting after for? Who are the men who are being protected? Strong men. Because they know that they just need a number of strong men. And my hope is that after watching this video, you are on the path. You make the active choice to take action, to be on the path to becoming a strong man. Because you're the only one who can save yourself. The best I can do is bring up ideas that will help you become a better version of yourself, right? So if it's now what does society will coddle you as a weak man until it's too late. Until one day you wake up and realize that fuck, I'm in my 30s. I don't have a real skill. I don't have you're underqualified, you're working a menial job. But guess what? You're not lonely. When you're lonely, you're sad, you're depressed. And guess what happens? It now becomes easier for the corporations to milk money away from you, to feed you with more distractions, right? But for the strong men, what happens? It applauds them, women gravitate towards them. So whether I like it or not, right, 30 to 40 years ago, there was a concept of an average man, a middle man. But that line has completely gone. It's either you are weak or you are strong. It's either you are rich or you are poor. The idea of middle class is slowly vanishing. At this point, in some context, it has completely vanished, right? As a man, it's more difficult to be a man these days because we have two problems. One, life is becoming difficult, right? We have inflation, dating scene is trash, the food we eat these days are trash. Life is just basically everything just going south. On the other hand, it's easy for us to fall victims to distractions. It's easy for us to give our way to distractions, addictions, and that's very intentional. So until you begin to wake up and realize that your biggest enemy is not the women, it's the undisciplined version of you. It's the part of you that wants to stay weak. It's the part of it that tells you, Let me speak up. Let me man up. I don't want to man up. I want to cry. I want to sit down. I want to cry. Now, that idea of crying, it's something that's been taken out of context. Now, when I say men should not cry, is that if a man, if you want to cry, you don't cry all the time, right? In short, to be very, very frank, I don't really believe men should really cry. Because in the very end, that thing you're crying about, you're going to have to deal with it. And think about it. That's why feminists attack stoicism. Because it basically puts power in your hand. Because the whole idea of stoicism has been destroyed by social media. Stoicism tells you that your thoughts, your actions, your feelings should be in your control. Every other thing is out of your control, and you should be fine with it that way. It's that simple, right? But guess what? They bash it, they call it toxic. So one thing you have to do as a man is you have to spend a great amount of time getting rid of propaganda. Because this propaganda, they used to affect me when I was much younger. Because ever since I began to wake up in bed, because I didn't just wake up all of a sudden, I was waking up and realizing that, bro, everything is fucked up. These ideas were injected in my head decades ago. Stupid ideas. And guess what? It's even worse these days. It's worse when you tell boys to think like women. It's crazy. Where you will have them suggesting to kids that they can do a sex change. It's crazy to me when they tell, because whether I like it or not, it's everything. The whole idea of this whole agenda against men is to make you weak, is to distract you. Like I'm telling you that the rules they make for weak men and the rules they make for strong men are two different things. So what should you do? Now, speaking of that, before I even get this off, someone flashed into my head because I have this young boy I train with. Mind you, I train martial arts and I have this my new coach, right? And I have this boy who he trains. The boy is like, he's 11 years old and he trains, his father is from the UK. And his father puts him through a lot. His father is red-pilled. He's so red-pilled that his son, who is 11, is learning how to fight. He's pushing him through swimming, basketball, chess. That's a guy that if he keeps up at this current rate, it's not possible for him to be a weak boy. It's not just possible. This is somebody who's learning how to fight at age 11. And that's something that I think we lack these days, right? That we enjoy that comfort. This is a guy who he says that he barely watches TV. His dad takes him to the office. So what I mean is, whether I like it or not, he's already leveling up from a small age. By the time his mates are probably in their 20s, he has moved far. He has had the confidence to start a business. He has had that self-confidence to get shit done. So I can't call his name out, but if you're watching this in the future, bro, you're a real G. But you can see him in my vlogs, right? My vlogs are coming up later. So by the way, where the fuck was I? So yeah, so there are basically two things you need to do, right? Two major things that you really need to do to start being on that path to becoming a strong man. One, you need to find your purpose. Now, you don't find your purpose by sitting down and brainstorming. No, I made a video on how to find your purpose. But the reason I say find your purpose, or maybe let me make it more interesting, be on a mission. The irony is when you're on a mission, your thoughts, your choices are much more focused, narrow. What happens? You wipe out distractions. You really cannot wipe out distractions and addictions if your mind is not going somewhere. That is what they want you to do. They want your mind to not go anywhere. They want your mind to stay aloof, just stay flat. No brain waves, nothing extra, just be there. It's very, very intentional, very intentional. So if you have a mission, right, second thing you need that's very important is a brotherhood. Oh, no, sorry, I'll call it the right set of people. So what happens when you have the right set of people? Now, there are two important ones. One are men who are like mentors. They are older than you. They have already achieved some of the things that you're trying to achieve in life, right? And again, I'm happy to make this video because I'm really not trying to sell you on anything. I'm basically telling you things that worked for me and things that work for the people I coach. And then another irony is, I remember one day I looked back and said, I was grateful for one thing. Now in my high school years, I went to 3 high schools. I've been suspended 3 times. I've been expelled once. I've been asked to repeat a class once. When I got to university, I knew that I had to change. And then I'm very happy for the older people who I had as my roommates. These guys were guys who made dumb mistakes and they made it intentional for me to not make those mistakes. And looking back at it, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me, right? Realizing that I fucked up, right? And these guys were here to give me free advice. So I tell you this, go out there and do it. There are a lot of people, a lot of guys out there who are there to mentor you for free. In short, why they won't enjoy it is because sometimes it helps them satisfy their own ego. Help them satisfy their own ego, right? Now, you have guys who are older than you. Now, you also need guys who are in your age brackets because these are guys who you are moving with life through, right? These are guys who are also on their purpose. They are also on their mission. That is why I tell people to join a community, right? At the point of making this video, I don't have a community yet. It should be coming out very, very soon to the public. It's very private. It's mostly me and my guys. What I mean me and my guys is me and my guys that we see in person because I really believe that communities, yes, might be built online. At the same time, they still need that physical element to it. So right now, it's mostly me and my guys, and we can see maybe once in a month, once in 2 months, obviously from time to time. But the whole agenda is you need a brotherhood. Because, bruv, life is not just so easy. When we talk about we in the self-improvement space, we know that it's easy for us to forget what we are working on. It's easy for us to forget where we have been. But guess what? Our guys, the brotherhood, always pulls us back, always reminds us of where we should have been or where we can be or where we should be. It always reminds us of, bro, it always keeps us accountable because, like I said, I have guys who I'll call my brothers. And these are guys who, in their own individual space, they are leveling up, right? And it's easy for us to forget some things, right? Again, they remind you when you are going off course. They call you out on your BS. So if you have these two things labeled out, your mission you are working on, and your brotherhood. Now, I put a challenge to somebody, right? One dirty feminist woman, and I said, I don't think men should speak up. I think men need only two things. Men need a purpose, which is the number one thing, right? Without a purpose, your mind adrift. And the second thing is men need a brotherhood to act that purpose with. If you give a man those two things, bro, sister, he will see anything that's called depression, anxiety will leave him immediately. And she was like, no, they need to speak up. I said, show me a single man who claims depression and anxiety, who is working on a mission and a purpose. Can you not see how? Yes, to be very frank, I get people telling me that my videos needs more views, but I'm doing this because if you cannot sit down through a video like this, you're not ready to change your life. You're not ready to change your behavior because it's easy for me to have those hyper-edited videos and hook your attention, but guess what? Because you don't feel that urge, right? You're being distracted by so many hyper-edits. They are not going to change one single bit. You're going to stay in that position for life. So, brother, you have other ideas like rejecting modern ideas because modern ideas, they don't work. If they worked, we'll not have people will be less burnt out, less stressed. But instead, we have the opposite. Reject modern ideas, right? Limit the media you consume. And I say limit the media is limit the news, limit even social media, or rather still, use social media to your advantage, right? And this is why I always tell people that social media is not the problem. You are the problem. Because if you have a goal, right, it's easy to use social media to help you achieve that goal. What that means is if you're on social media, it should be helping you achieve your goal, not distracting you from it. And that brings me to a story of one of my guys who made me realize that, bro, social media is actually more powerful. It's not about profiting alone. It's not about entertainment. Sometimes it's about just achieving some mundane personal goals. So me and my guy, we're learning how to swim together. I really wished I vlogged my swimming though. We're learning how to swim together. And I kind of realized that in our strokes, he was always, for any new stroke we learn, mind you, I'm taller than him. For every new stroke we learn, this guy keeps going way faster than me. He keeps learning them, like he can learn the same stroke in the first 2 classes. And we're going to 10 classes and I'm figuring out my strokes in about the 6th or 7th class. Even today, my strokes are not perfect. Until one day I was like he showed me a video on his Instagram. So after that, the video kind of like moved to another video and finally it was swimming upon swimming upon swimming. This guy is getting swimming tips in beats, back to back. He's soaking up information about certain swim styles, back to back. Bro, it made me realize that. That's what happens when you have something you're working towards. When you set your mind on goals and remove the distractions, or you even use your distractions to your advantage. Think about it. Video games used to be a way of applying creative thinking, but now it's about addicting the people. Social media used to be about connecting people, but now it's just also about addicting people. But he's using it to achieve his goals. That's why, and it completely changed the way I approach social media as a place where I document my journey. I use it to meet interesting people. I use it to take in ideas and also give out ideas. So, brother, if you made it this far, you're a real G. I want you to please share this video if the ideas in this video resonated with you. So if you like what you're hearing, please know that my videos are specifically geared to help young men, right, figure out life because, bro, a lot of guys are starving for wisdom, they're starving for knowledge. And if you feel like you want if you want to like speak with me, you can connect with me right now on any of my social media channels in the descriptions below, right? Or you can just leave a comment in the comment section and then I can take it up from there and let's know how we can work together. So my name is Tonore. Talk to you soon and bye for now, brother.